today's episode of Spice and Nice.
Yes, and correct. The promise last episode you just watched, we really did it. We really did it. Wake. No, we don't wake. We want to talk about that.
Yes, it was from last episode that we had this inspiration
Yeah.
talking about different cultures in different countries and specifically about Vietnamese and Singaporean because as a Singaporean I was bringing some of Anne's lovely team members around the Singapore, and then we were going around.
Yes. And first, I want to say thanks, Denise, for that.
Oh, you're
As
most
well,
welcome.
as well, very last minute that I'm realized because I've been back to back event and submit and
Yes.
flying and work, and I have not even have time to consolidate that. Okay, the team going to come, they have to learn a lot of stuff, and who is the best person. And then I asked her for help like 2 days before they arrive.
Yeah.
I said, okay, Denise, I think you really need to help me this, and thanks that she said yes to support me.
Yeah, I didn't support a lot. Like I support like two days. 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
1.5 days, I don't know whichever. Lah. So we brought them around, and I would say it is not as shocking for me maybe because I am used to Vietnamese and I am used to the team, and I understand that it's their first time in Singapore, so I'm a bit more forgiving in that sense, but I also need to let them experience what is considered culturally acceptable in Singapore,
Yeah.
and what is not.
Yeah, and that's one is my permission. I give Denise permission to do it.
Yeah, and I know Anne well enough to know that she would want me to be very tough on them.
Yeah.
But I am not as tough, like, to be frank, because I'm like, okay, I think this is about the level. Because, okay, so I brought them on their, I think first or second day I brought them out, right? And then yesterday, then the last day before they fly off, I also brought them out. So I can see the difference between the first day and the last day, I can see the difference. So there was a 2 day break where other more experienced team members brought them around and they didn't bring around. So in that 2 days space, I could see the difference, not just growth, but the level of stress.
Okay.
Day one is all like a tourist, because, and I think for them, they haven't really had a full experience of me. It's just they just think I am somebody that's all fun and laughter, which is true. But first day I was a bit more like that, a bit more relaxed. Just bring them around to see and experience Singapore, especially for the transport system. And because of my understanding, I've been to Vietnam before. So because of my understanding of Vietnam culture and your logistics, your transport, the way you people do things, I can tell them what is the difference, and I can highlight those differences because I've been to both sides. And then, so the first day, is she cooking something spicy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coughing because there's spicy air.
Yeah.
Okay, so first day we went around and we had a lot of fun. We brought them to the airport, which is integral to Singapore, and I make some jokes along the way, blah blah blah. And then the last day, the thing that I realized that is very different, that I had to teach them on day one. I already tell them. I say, for me personally, I'm sure inside the team there are other people who are teaching them about work ethics and more detailed things. I mean punctuality, blah blah. But for me, I'm very very big on social etiquette.
Yeah.
Social etiquette would mean things like if you're on the train, you do not put your leg on the chair.
Yeah.
That one is considered very rude. In our country, it's considered very rude. But I know in Vietnam, it's not like that. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
So they think it's normal.
Yeah.
But it is not normal. Things like if the train comes, you should stand to the side so people can come out first.
Yeah.
And then you go in.
Yeah.
And small things like that. And I think that was the biggest difference for them, that not only do they have to bother about how punctual they are, how rich they are, how much money they make, how many friends they have, how many girlfriends and boyfriends they have, etc., etc. They also must now understand about social etiquette and why sometimes when they go to certain countries, people give them the look like that
Yeah.
look, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very good at giving that look. So I give them an experience already. I
Yeah.
say don't do this because otherwise the Singaporean, which is me, I'm gonna look at you like that. No words is needed.
Yeah.
So we go on the train, I will show them, okay, we need to stand here.
Yeah.
Because why? We
Yeah.
don't block people moving around because they don't think that way.
Yeah.
Right? Because in Vietnam, people, if they want to move, they will just push you to the side or they will squeeze past you.
Yeah.
But in Singapore, we don't do that. We
Yeah.
consider it rude to do that. And I also explain the meaning behind, like in Singapore, um, everything is very fast moving.
Mm.
So the reason why you don't block people's way or people get irritated easily when you block them is because they are always in a hurry to go somewhere.
Mm.
So everything in Singapore is built so that it makes it easy to move faster,
Mm.
makes it easy to be efficient.
Mm.
Same for the train. Why you stand to the side so people can come out first.
Mm.
So it's faster. People come out faster, you can go in faster. So there's no jam. I explain all this and they're like, oh, I see. And I also have to explain because the younger ones, especially because some of them are not as fluent in English yet, they were using a lot of their phones for ChatGPT and translation.
Mm.
But I also tell them you need to be very aware of your surroundings. You cannot just suddenly see something interesting. You stop in the middle of nowhere and you start taking pictures and looking your phone, and people are just like, you are causing a jam in the middle of the road, right?
Yeah.
Or the middle of the pathway. And you're going to get a lot of that negative feedback and a lot of that negative essence from people. Yeah, so that was my biggest. And the volume of the talking.
Yeah.
The volume of the talking. Vietnamese, much as I love Anne's team
Yeah.
and Vietnam food and Vietnamese language, it really doesn't sound nice.
Yeah.
It's the sound of the language. It's a very a bit more high pitch, a bit more
Loud
loud,
and
bit
sound
more.
like we're fighting.
Yes, they are not fighting, but they sound like they're fighting all
Yeah.
the time. So they will talk on the train because they have a lot to discuss. They are very curious
Yeah.
and hungry to learn about Singapore and how they can bring certain systems back to their country
Yeah.
and back to the team. So they are always discussing, right?
Yeah. They always brainstorm and
Yeah, they are
talking and
discussing
discuss.
like, oh, what should we do? Then of course they get very excited about it, and
Yeah.
then their voice will raise up, and then you have to tell them what to do, right? And then so these are the so what I have learned from working with them is just to to show them in a gentler and kinder way
Mm.
that this is what is acceptable and this is what is not acceptable.
Mm.
Like we don't put our leg on the chair in public.
Yeah.
Why is that so? Actually, there is. If you take off your shoe, there is no logical reason why you cannot. Because
Yeah.
I would assume your feet is clean-ish,
Correct.
right? There's no logical reason. But in our society, it's considered rude,
Yeah.
and I cannot explain why except that it's just socially rude.
Yeah.
I think in most developed countries, it's the same.
Yeah.
So I have to explain that to them, and I also learn day one I explain things kindly.
Yeah.
The last day I was a bit more terrible.
Not terrible. Just
But I know I'm not as fierce as her. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they are used to Anne. So they should be okay with me. My level is like nothing compared to your level and your
Alright.
leader's level, right?
all right.
Yeah, I'm just like at first I'll be like, so first day they come here, I'm like, oh, okay, you should move to the side. Then the last day I'm like, I told you to move to the side already. I told you not to look at the phone. Look at your surroundings.
Yeah.
I told.
Yeah.
That was a communication with them. It's an instant feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, because the team grows very, very fast.
Yeah. But they need direct feedback.
They need
Right,
a
they need
very instant and full
No,
of.
you seem very kind with them. Come on, I will worse than that. When they come to my house first time, right? Everybody else like go to wash your leg
With soap.
with soap. You smelly. I tell you
Straight in
because
the
no,
face,
but
ah.
yes, straight to the face. I know you guys won't do it, but I have to correct my people, right? Because it's my job,
Uh,
it's my team. I
uh,
have to train them to. And you think train team is just train them to do a work? I'm sorry, my team more than do a work. You have to train them to be a grow up human being. My team is young. They're
yes.
19, 20, 21. They're a bunch of young people,
Haven't been exposed.
haven't been exposed,
Mm,
high energy. Yes, that's their parent job. But you don't get it. It's Vietnam is a different kind of country.
yes.
It's not people, everybody have a chance to expose. So
Mm.
thanks, Denise, that you did amazing job.
I don't know. So the last day, after we, because I left early and one of your leaders took a tea, and then he texted me. He was like, "They look more stressed today than the past few days." I said they should because it's their fourth day here.
Yeah,
So by the fourth day, we expect more and more of them.
correct, correct.
But okay, lead the way. And then as a I as my personality, I want to shelter them from negative feedback from other Singaporeans.
Correct,
I don't want them to feel the unkindness.
correct.
But on the last day, I have to stop myself.
Yeah. No, you
Because
have to be that so they don't have to take that.
correct.
Without understand like why I deserve to being treated
Treated
like
this
this.
way, yes.
Yeah.
And then I know that if they for example, I know that if they do this, they are going to get the from other Singaporeans.
Yeah.
But I already remind them before.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it or they forgot, right? Because it's new to them.
Yeah.
And then I have to step back, I don't remind them, and then let them experience from other Singaporeans
Yeah.
that instant feedback, which obviously is not it's not great, lah, but they had to do that.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious. When you first come to Singapore,
Yeah.
what was the biggest culture shock or the biggest difference for you?
Same lah. I get scolded a lot, like you just say. I get scolded from my ex-husband almost every 2 seconds. So that's why, like I share with you, that I live with him. I feel like a slave or the person that he always look down and
Mm,
scolding for many years. But I get where it come from, right? I'm not saying I don't blame him, but I aware the culture differences
mm,
of, and also at the same time, not just he scolding me every day when I go to work. I also can, like you just say, the eyes from another Singaporean look down on me. So again, they don't go through all that over years. So I'm not sure that you remember, like on the like 2 day ago when we in the church, and when I sit behind and Linda and her friend was
mm,
tell me about, like, they so sorry for whatever I have to go through
mm,
with the Singaporean
mm,
experience, that with the foreign worker and all that, and on behalf of all the other Singaporean, I want to apologize. And that's why I burst to tears, because I'm like, no one in Singapore say that to me before, right? And I never thought that I feel hurt about that,
oh, but when they said
right?
you felt.
Yeah, and then it come back, and I'm like, oh, that's right. It's like I'm get used to it. That I never thought it hurt me, but
Mm,
it did when I start see when my team come here, uh, how they're being treated, not
mm,
from the needs of people that I know, but from
others.
people that I don't know. The eyes, the look, and the essence, and uh, I cannot save them from that because I've been there before, right?
Mm,
And how far I've been. That just now I told Denise that the difference between me and them is they have me to give them a checklist that what you need to learn and change as a Vietnamese. But in the past, I don't have people give me that checklist. I have
mm,
to self discovering myself, uh, self motivate, and then pick myself up.
mm.
Because sometimes you get scolded and you don't even know what wrong you did.
Yes, because it's common for you, but it's not common here. Like
Yeah,
the
correct.
culture difference.
Like for example, in the past, when before I moved to Singapore, I dressed certain way
Mm,
because the clothes in my country, that what they sell,
mm, mm, mm.
right? So do I know that clothes is not acceptable in Singapore? When you dress like that, it look cheap or look disgusting or look not fashion and not well present, right?
Mm,
If I don't work for all these big brand, I will never know, because you
mm.
have to learn about
Grooming,
grooming,
ethical.
etiquette, how to talk to
Mm,
client, how to deal with service
mm,
line. So it's all is education, you see.
Mm.
But at the same time, go back, like, so now when I see them, I have to tell them what kind of clothes you bring to Singapore. For example, don't bring high heel and walk around the road because you were bleeding, because you walk a lot, so you need to bring shoe, for example. But nobody tell me that in the past,
Yes.
right? So the thing that you wear in Vietnam is normal and beautiful, is very disturbing when you're walking or you're doing work in Singapore.
Mm.
It take away your focus, right? So everything you have to be trained. Like for example, I run event. First few event I run in Vietnam, the team wear skirt, the girl wear skirt and all that. And after that I have to book it in the SOP that do not wear skirt in my event. Not because I don't want you to be pretty, but when you're moving a lot in work, you will show underwear, right? But then you have to explain to them.
Yes.
Because if not, they would think like, oh, so you don't want me to be pretty to find a boyfriend?
Yeah,
I say I don't give a damn about your boyfriend or whatever. But you want to find a boyfriend, this is not location.
Yeah.
This is for work.
This is not location for fine boyfriend.
Correct. And then I have to explain to them by showing them a lot of picture of like, look, this is what I uniform I used to wear in Singapore when I go to work, Universal Studio, Chanel, and whatsoever. Tell me why we don't allow to wear the skirt. Then they have to think. I said, I don't know. Then I have to show them how the event run, how fast people have to run, wear earphone, mic, makeup, everything. You have to run,
Mm.
right? Because it's a show. It's not
For you a runway show, it's not a fashion
correct.
show.
It's not. It's a working environment. So
Mm.
when working environment, look on the floor. Look at here. If you wear skirt, what will be happen? Cameraman take, what will be happen? Then I have to teach them, and now they're like, I get it.
Mm.
Then now they have to teach to the next group of people. What do you need to wear when we run event, for example? So again, like Denise just say, just ask me how do I deal with it. I think I growing up from that, and of course it take me, like I say, it take me 3 years to get used to Singapore culture.
Mm.
That's first 3 years is a lot of hurt and pain and damage from
Or the side eye.
all the side eye, and to 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 merge up my upbringing with upbringing here of the people, and start understand like why people give me that kind of look, or why they talking to me
Attitude.
like that, or
Mm.
why they treated me that way.
Mm.
And I have to learn how to, okay, so if I'm a Vietnamese, I'm going to live here, then now I have to understand that I can keep certain culture that I have,
Mm.
but I also have to respect the culture that the country have. So how can I merge and make it become a system for myself to survive here, right?
Mm.
And that's how I'm survive. But again, it takes years of me.
Because nobody explained to you.
Yeah, and nobody teach me this.
You just got the unpleasant attitude.
Yeah.
But nobody tell you why they gave you the attitude.
Yeah. Also, I don't think they even understand why we behave like
yes,
that.
correct.
Right? Because they not. So if Denise don't spend enough time with me in Vietnam, I think it would be harder for her to kind to my team, right? But because she been willing to merge with my team, go to Vietnam, hear from their side, experience on the road, and adventure and experience, then she said, okay, so people here, it's not their fault that they behave like that.
It's just everybody behaves like that.
Yeah, and also because of the culture and the
Yes.
upbringing like that, how can we help them
Yes.
to easier for us to work in the between, at the bridge in the between,
Yes.
right? And that's why we talk about that the last episode. I asked her like, so what does that mean? I don't understand when people say it's not easy to find a Singapore friend like that, right? And I'm like, oh, what does she mean? I mean, all my Singaporean friend is like that, right?
Let me just put it this way. Because you're not a typical person,
Yeah,
I would say this. I same for me. If you're not a typical person, your friends are not going to be typical people.
correct.
Correct. So you're not a typical person. I'm not a typical person. The friends that you have are not typical people. The friends that I have are not typical people. Family aside, because family we cannot choose.
Yeah,
So we are all not typical people together.
yeah,
That's how we can understand and merge together. And this is another tip for if you're a Vietnamese watching this, or if you're a Singaporean watching this. Vietnamese have very little understanding of personal space and personal boundary,
correct.
because in Vietnam it's very crowded, so they are very used to being very close to strangers.
Yeah.
But in Singapore we don't like it.
Yeah,
So if, for example, like this is a comfortable distance if we are not close. If we are
Correct.
stranger, this is a comfortable distance.
Yeah.
we are good friends, so we can be closer. It's
Yeah.
fine. But for Vietnamese, they just come very close, not because they are being rude, just they are used to it.
Yeah.
So we always tell them, you don't. Even sometimes with because I'm now closer to your team, certain members of the team they come close to me, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But certain members that I'm not so close, I will automatically feel that I need to move away
Yeah.
because this is the space I'm comfortable with,
Correct.
and things like that, and hygiene and a body odor and bad breath, things like that. They also it's something that you have to teach them
Yeah.
because in Singapore we grew up like that. Our parents will tell us, "Hey, you need to have a mint or
Yeah.
drink water after food or drink more water so your mouth don't smell," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but nobody tell them that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So everything you have to, you see, when you teach
like
the
baby.
culture, yeah. That's why before I come and tell Denise, I say, treat them like a kindergarten. Don't think they are.
Luckily, I have experience teaching young kids like 3 to 5 years old. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. I say, okay, children, we go upstairs now. And then they're like, oh, children, oh, children. They're like, oh, they're children.
Yeah.
And they will go upstairs. Yeah, so that,
I
that
think
was,
that like I think for only few days we can see how much they're growing, right? As
I think
a
how
quick
much,
experience.
I can see how much their brain is burning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all them are thinkers, right? This group,
Yeah.
all the thinkers,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Because in the past, for the last, they worked with me for few years, 2 years. For the last 2 years, just hearing, listening, share video,
Yeah. They never
but they
experience.
never stand here to look around. And this is what I've been telling you and teach you. It's a different feeling. You have to witness that somebody else already done it before, so they can motivate to go back and understand that yeah, it really somebody already do it before.
You don't have to be so original sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just sometimes if you copy somebody else's system and way of doing
Yeah.
things, if it works, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, Singapore has been doing this for the past 50 years.
Yeah.
And we have the biggest brains in the country working on it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, that's why. So anyway, yes.
So what have you learned from the experience actually?
I have
Because I
learned.
think yes, you help them, but I think also come something back to learn.
Yes, they
For
have helped me
a
a lot.
Singaporean to going to want to enter Vietnam market, maybe this is something you can contact Denise.
I don't know about entering Vietnam market because I would say this. The team members that I have worked with Anne has been under her training for a while.
Yeah.
So it's not may not be the right word to use, but you get the meaning. It is not raw Vietnamese.
Mm.
It's not raw Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's a slightly modified version.
Yeah.
And then when you bring them here and they meet me, it's more modification and so on and so forth. So if you want to work with Vietnamese, I think you have to first get used to the lack of personal space.
Mm.
That is something that was very disturbing for me. And the second is you try to think about this country has people that are kind, but because of their circumstances, they have been forced to be harsh.
Mm.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rose, but with a lot of thorns because of the environment that they are in. It's not that they want to be unkind or rude or whatever. It's just they are so busy hustling and making money and for survival that they have no time to think about being nice, pleasant, or smell good or whatever it is. These are the luxury that we have that to think about, but they don't. So to and also not be alarmed when they start shouting because that's not really shouting.
Yeah.
They are just talking excitedly, but to us can sound like shouting. The volume is like shouting. Huh? I think these are the two, and this one is maybe not okay. Also because they come here and I bring them around, then I realize it makes me a lot more grateful for the environment that I grew up in.
Mm.
And I see more clearly the gap between the two countries. Not that I look down on Vietnam. Vietnam is a beautiful country with many, many resources. But I see the gap in the culture, in the education, in the way that we socialize with each other, and the way we don't just think. In Singapore, we are selfish people. Actually, Singaporeans are. As a Singaporean, I will say this: most Singaporeans are quite self-centered or family-centered. You just think about our family. But we still understand that when it comes to work, you still have to work towards a goal together, whether you like it or not, because that's work. But for them, it's very survival. So they are so stuck in survival mode that it's very themselves first.
Mm.
This is not being rude. It's just the culture and the environment is so harsh that they have no choice but to just think about themselves first. So that's something that I learned. The gap is really big, um, but there is there is a lot of room for growth in that sense.
Mm.
And I see hope because they are very willing. The thing that I admire the most, that they teach me the most, is the hunger and the curiosity and the determination. Singaporeans are quite soft, a little bit them complain, be a bit entitled. We want everything to be air conditioned and cold and nice and cool, and the food and drink is ready for us, and it has to be yummy, and so on and so forth. What they taught me was about being grateful for the small opportunities that as Singaporeans we are given from birth that we are not even aware of.
Mm.
Things like the power of our passport, things like the ease of our transport, things like the safety and cleanliness of our streets,
Mm.
where you can go out in a sports attire, let's say a sports bra and a sports shorts, and you don't get uh, assaulted or you don't get disturbed by other people. These are the things that they have taught me to be grateful for, and also thing like the hunger for knowledge. When we are teaching them, you can see that they are constantly trying to make sense of what we are saying. They are constantly thinking, they are constantly absorbing that information without the "oh, I know better than you, who are you to teach me" kind of attitude. Right? So that's something that I have learned from them, that the hunger, and because of that hunger to improve, they are not afraid of setbacks
Mm.
or of challenges. So a challenge comes because of that hunger, that thirst for self improvement to have a better life. They are more than willing to fight through that challenge, to go through that challenge, or to find a way around it to get to where they want to go. So that's something that I think I have learned from them, that grit and that hunger. And I think a lot of Singaporeans are very, very lacking in that because we are too well fed already. When you're well fed every day, you're not hungry. But if you're starving, then you will be hungry, and then you will fight for what you want. So that's what I learned. Yeah, that's great. And of course, I learned other like details about Singapore because as a Singaporean, when they ask me questions, how come the name is Bugis? I don't know because I grew up and it was called Bugis. What I mean? Questions like that, I'm like, okay, why do I not know why is it called Bugis? Yeah, that question has never. Let me Google why is it called, and I have to explain about the culture and how it's so mixed because Singapore is just a mix of many different races and culture and things like that I have never thought about. Like they will ask me, "Oh, Singapore has this race, this race, this race. What if this race and this race mixed together? What is it called?" I don't know. Faster go and Google. And things like that, small things
Okay.
like that. And they will ask me, "Oh, like, is this food Chinese or something something?" I'm like, I think it is Malay. And then I'm like, okay, let me Google. Because I'm so used to it. I'm just like, for me, it's just Singaporean food. I don't
Correct.
know. I, I think it's Malay. And then I have to explain about things. Like, in food court, we have halal, non halal.
Correct.
I have
Correct.
to explain about that because that religion is not that big in Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I also have to learn that when I come Singapore. I
yeah, I
don't
have
even
to
know that.
explain. I have
Yeah.
to explain there's a sign, there's a certification, and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my god, okay, I have to explain all this and explain about the religion, which obviously I know nothing about. I only know like the basic. And then I said they don't eat pork, they don't eat all this, all this. So their food is separate, preparation is separate, cleaning is separate, cooking is separate, everything is separate. They're like, oh. I'm like, oh my god, they make me they ask me a lot of questions about Singapore that I have never thought about because I just grew up like that,
Yeah.
right? And like like for example in Vietnam, vegetables is just everywhere.
Yeah.
So you don't think that vegetable is anything special.
Yeah.
Just go to your garden, you just grab a bunch.
Correct.
It's all to eat. You just eat until you faint. Also, you still have
Yeah,
more.
and you still have free vegetable.
And
Top
it's,
up.
yeah, and
Top
it's
up for free.
non-stop. Okay, but they come to Singapore, then I realized, then when you come to Singapore, you realize, actually vegetables is quite rare here.
Yeah.
It's rare and expensive because we import from outside.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what happened. They start asking me questions about Singapore that I have never even thought of. That this is interesting to a foreigner. That's true. And I may have a foreign guest coming, so this is a good practice for me. And then we brought them to Marina Barrage,
Yeah.
and they start asking questions. Why Singapore need all this? And I said, we God don't know. I feel so terrible as a Singaporean. I was ashamed of myself. I was like, okay, I better go and read up about all these things and like the history and Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and all that.
Yeah.
And
Now you
his-
start you
and
love
his
Uncle Lee
vision.
more.
I've always loved him, to be frank, because I'm very clear that he brought Singapore, but how he did and the
How he
working
think.
behind. You get
Yeah.
what I mean? The behind. Then I'm like, okay, we go to HDB Hub. Then I read about the place I stay in. I'm like, this is the planning I see. Oh my goodness. So it was as much an education for me as for them.
Yeah.
So I think for them it's about more about social etiquette and stuff. For me, it's a lot about the knowledge. So yeah, thanks to the opportunity, maybe I can become tour guide. They were like, you should bring Vietnamese around. I'm like, I don't know how to speak Vietnamese.
I feel like I'm ready for this next group come. Next round, I think Denise can be full-time take over. Since will be
if I'm feeling well, I can.
yeah. If that's going to be, I think like that will be cool. Because the team just told me this morning, they're like, now I'm here. We still have 4 more people that I want them to understand all this. Then we can teamwork how. Now in my head, I'm like, oh my god, tag team, you guys is a disaster. I love my tag team,
but
I hate them at the
they
same
are
time.
really disaster when it comes to people.
Yeah.
Their brain is, if you talk about systems and IT and
Yeah,
AI,
yeah.
you see their brain is like, wow, they're like genius,
Yeah.
But you talk about people and social etiquette and culture,
Yeah.
they're like,
This is exactly hate-love relationship I have with my tech team. I have a lot of amazing young talent tech boy, like technology boy.
Yeah.
Their brain in terms of work, right?
So
I
IT
can shut
and
down
AI.
my brain because I know they're better than me. But then in terms of life, right, I just hate
life and people
everything.
and culture, everything else. And their whole brain is just inside the
I can't.
IT.
So even you are the tech person and you're watching my this and you are Vietnamese, yes, I really hate you guys. But as much as I love you, I would love to change this hate to love more. So that's why I'm so patient with them, right? I'm so patient to sit down and listen to their shit. Even I really not. I don't, and I know what they're talking is not even make sense. Yeah, so I think the left brain and right brain kind of problem that we have with each other,
I also think it's because they are brain 24 hours using on IT. So they
Yeah,
have no
yeah.
space for anything else.
Well, but she live with one at home, so I think she
But mine is well trained.
well trained. Yeah,
Not well trained, trained enough because he went to army.
yeah.
His parents, and he's in Singapore. In
He
Singapore,
born in Singapore.
you are being like,
that from young.
yeah, a little bit. You get a little bit at least. Of
Yeah.
course, yeah, he has
Yeah.
much room for growth. But yeah, another topic for another day. Okay, we love you, IT guys. I
Yes.
guess
That's it for today.
Yeah, if you have any questions about tour guiding, you can drop a comment below. We charge a large amounts.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe on all social media channels.
I'm Anna Spice.
And I'm Denise. So nice. We will see you guys in the.
That's the conclusion of today.
How
Don't
to
forget to
study.
like, share, and subscribe.
You are?
I am Amanda Spice.
And the stubborn one. I am Denise the nice. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.